The fifth dimension isn't a distant, mystical place or dramatic event. It's a state of consciousness we all can access. If you have felt a shift in how you see things, you might already be stepping into the fifth dimension without even realizing it. Let's see if any of these signs sounds familiar to you. One of the first signs you're stepping into the fifth dimension is this underlying sense of peace. It's not like you never feel stressed or anxious, but there's this calmness inside you, like a steady anchor. No matter what's going around you, you don't flinch because you stop reacting to the chaos the way you used to. Instead of getting caught up in external drama, your focus now shifts inwards. It's like your spiritual self become your center now and grounding you and giving you this quiet, unshakable peace. As this connection to your spiritual self grows, your ego will start to take a back seat, will start to fade into the background. The constant mental chatter, the judgment, the noise begins to quiet down. Sometimes it's so subtle that you might not even notice it. I remember many years ago, I dropped a stack of paper on the ground. Normally, my mind would go something like, why are you so clumsy? Like, why do you make a mess? But that time, I noticed that there is just silence, no judgment. There is no inner or external commentary. It's just pure stillness. I see myself just bend down and just pick up the paper one by one. And then that was it. Like I was in full observer mode. I was watching my action and there was no drama, there was no judgment, there was no mental noise. This is the kind of little shift and signs that you're connecting more with your spirit and not with your ego. When you're in that state, things just don't bother you as much anymore. It's not that you stop caring or desire certain outcomes, but there's always this sense of like, okay, that doesn't work. Let's try something else. Okay, this doesn't work. Let's try a different method. You're not so attached to the outcome and you will still feel emotions. But instead of getting lost in those mental stories, you process them. It's like you observe that something triggers you. Okay, let me deal with it. And you approach it with curiosity, like, why did I get triggered for such a small matter? And you process your emotions and you stop holding on to things so tightly anymore. As you step into the fifth dimension, your priority naturally shifts. You focus less on reacting to the outer world and more on nurturing your inner world. And it's a very beautiful transformation that brings you closer to your heart and your higher self. The second sign you're stepping into the fifth dimension is you feel more connected to the world, the people around you, and everything around you. And it's not just about making more friends or becoming more social. It's about this deep connection that comes from within. You start to feel something called the unity consciousness. It's this profound sense of we are all interconnected, like we are part of a big whole. The idea of me versus them starts to fade away, and instead you realize there is no separation. You have moved past duality into this beautiful state of oneness, where you feel that we are all in this together. And with this shift, your perspective changes completely. Suddenly you see the world more through the lens of unconditional love and compassion. Fear and judgment don't control you as much anymore. Instead, you find yourself approaching people and situations with kindness and understanding. You become more open and friendly, even towards strangers, because you don't see people as adversaries anymore. And you also start to realize something really important. Everyone is just operating from their own level of consciousness or awareness. This understanding makes it easier to let go of any frustration or resistance towards others. Instead of focusing so much on their flaws, you see their journey is similar to the journey you have been on. You are just a few steps ahead of them. And because you don't judge your past self, you also don't judge others who are a few steps behind. Interestingly, This deeper sense of connection often pulls you towards nature and solitude instead of people. You stop resisting time alone and actually start to treasure it. Nature becomes this amazing source of peace and clarity. You feel this resonance with plants, animals, and nature because their energy matches your spiritual self. And this attraction is both ways. Not only are you drawn to nature, nature are drawn to you. I have to share this funny story with you. While I was writing this script, preparing for this, exactly this portion, a bird flew straight into my window with a loud bang, and it startled me. But I couldn't help but laugh at the timing because it happens just as I was writing about that. One way to tell if you are in the fourth dimension or the fifth dimension is how you respond to people and systems still rooted in the 3D world. In 4D, you might feel resistance or frustration towards those things. But in 5D, you stop fighting and start embracing. You learn to coexist with both the physical and spiritual worlds, finding peace in the balance. The journey from 4D to 5D is a big one, it's a big jump. In 4D, you are introduced to the idea of oneness. You might get it from intellectual, conceptual level, but it might not fully click yet. In the 5D though, things starts to become more real. You truly feel the connection, you experience the connection, you know the connection. You know that we are all interconnected. We are connected to others, we are connected to nature, we are connected to the universe as whole. And with that comes this incredible sense of peace, love, and compassion that transform how you see everything. It's a very beautiful place to be in. And I just want to say again that everyone has access to this state. It's not exclusive to some of us. Another clear sign that you're stepping into the fifth dimension is a heightened sensitivity to energy and vibration, both within yourself and in others. You may notice that your intuition feels stronger and more reliable, guiding you through life with a sense of clarity and purpose that you might not have experienced before. It's like tapping into this extra sense beyond the five senses. You start to develop your psychic abilities, or what some people may call the sixth sense, and you just know what other people are feeling, their intention, beyond just the surface level emotions. It's as if you are receiving powerful messages or additional messages from their energy, even without them saying a word. I remember a few times I just knew where people were headed. Many years ago, there was a man a couple of meters ahead of me, and I instantly felt that we are going into the same event. It's like I just received this hit, this download. An hour later, after a few train stations, I saw him in the same meetup group, and I thought, wow, how did I even know that? This heightened awareness of vibration and energy also means you're more in tune with your inner guidance system. You start to trust your intuition more. You realize it's always been there, but you may have brushed it aside in the past due to overthinking or relying too much on logic. In lower level of consciousness, your intuition is often ignored because it doesn't always seem rational. But now, as you expand into the fifth dimension, you realize that it is the most powerful compass. Whether you call it your intuition, your spirit guides, the universe, or your higher self, in the 5D, you know that it's a force constantly guiding you and showing you the path forward. And the more you trust this sensitivity, the easier your life gets. One of the most powerful signs of stepping into the fifth dimension is the way synchronicity starts to show up in your life. These aren't just random coincidences. They are meaningful spiritual guidance from your higher self or spirit guides. For example, you might start noticing repeated numbers like 1111 or 333 popping out everywhere you look. Or you might have encountered someone who offers advice or opportunity that seems too perfectly timed to be random. They might come in the form of a book, a podcast, or even a random video that you feel like it's placed in your life for a reason. And What's amazing is that the solution you're guided towards often feels refreshingly different from the usual surface level advice you might have followed in the past. It's like they are customized for you. They are deeper and more aligned with your soul. These synchronicities are signs that you're aligned with the flow of the universe and they are guiding you towards your highest path. And as you lean into this guidance and become more open to the signs around you, life starts to feel more spontaneous, more connected, and more magical. Let me share a story with you. So, just last week, I was watching this video by Sonia Choquette. I was doing research for this video, and her video on spiritual guardian is the perfect illustration of how synchronicity works. She mentioned one time she was giving a talk, and during the event, she invited a woman up on stage, and she wanted to help her get closer to her spiritual guidance. So she asked her, "What do you love?" And the woman says she loves singing. And so Sonia encouraged her to sing in front of the audience. But naturally, the woman hesitated because her ego was caught off guard. Like, you want me to sing in front of hundreds of people in the audience? Like, it's so scary. Like, why would I do that? And Sonia, seeing her being fearful, she suggested a song, Mary Had a Little Lamb, because it's a very easy song to sing. But the woman said no, she doesn't want to sing that. And she gave some thoughts to what she wanted to say. And she came out and decided to sing You Are My Sunshine, because that was a song that she often sing to her grandchildren. And after she sang it, the audience was deeply moved by her courage. But the story doesn't end here. After the talk, another woman came out to Sonia and shared something extraordinary. She has been grieving the loss of her daughter, and she wanted to know that her daughter's spirit was okay. So that day, there were 6 talks available. She has chosen to attend Sonia's talk because she felt guided to. And then she revealed that You Are My Sunshine was the song she and her daughter used to sing together. And hearing it during the session brought her not only comfort, but the deep, undeniable feeling that her daughter's spirit was with her. Now, here's where the synchronicity gets even more magical. After hearing this story in Sonia's video, I felt very moved and it resonated with me very much. I decided to go for a walk around my neighborhood later that afternoon because that's what's suggested by Sonia Choquette in the video. So I wandered into a spot that I never explored before, and I was in this supermarket, and suddenly I heard someone playing a tune on a harmonica outside. And it sounded very familiar. So I went out of the supermarket, and as I got closer, I realized it was it was playing You Are My Sunshine, and I couldn't believe it. It's the same song I had just heard about in that video. It was on the same day. It was like the universe was winking at me, reminding me that how we are all connected. This is what living in the 5th dimension feels like. Synchronicity like this reminds us that there's a higher intelligence at work, guiding us towards clarity and connection. They help us move from confusion to deep knowing, from doubt to trust. They help us bridge the physical world and spiritual world, providing us with affirmation that we are on the right track. And it's not that this synchronicity doesn't exist when we are in the lower dimension. They are always there. But we either don't see them or don't think that they mean anything significant until we reach the 5th dimension. Like, we only notice them when we are in higher dimension. The 5th sign is flow. When you are operating in the 5th dimension, something incredible happens. You start flowing effortlessly with life. You're no longer forcing things to happen or cling to rigid goals. Instead, you became more spontaneous, playful, and guided, aligning with a higher vibration and co-creating with the universe. You surrender and trust the process more. Instead of obsessing over every detail, you let go of control and allow life to flow, unfold naturally. You align with the divine timing, knowing everything is happening exactly as it should. Deadline and schedule feels less stressful because you stop worrying about whether you meet them or not. Instead, you focus on living fully in the present moment. This doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It's actually quite the opposite. You envision your future and you let them go. When you stop chasing and trust the universe, you avoid stress and resistance, and your vibration rises. And because of that, you naturally attract better outcomes. The things you want seems to flow to you effortlessly, or you flow directly to them. This is the power of effortless manifestation. This is the power of being in a flow state where manifestation becomes second nature. When you are in the fifth dimension, you rely less on affirmation or rigid structures and practices to manifest. You rely more on trust, intuition, and energy. You act more from an inspiration, and life feels less like a struggle and more like a dance. You and the universe are working together in harmony, creating a life that feels both guided and magical. 5D is like a frequency which all of us can tune into. You don't need to be happy all the time to access it, but you do need to be open to guidance from higher power, willing to trust even when things don't fully make sense. Check out this video for more stories and insights.